Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a short-ish video. I'm gonna try and keep it short anyway. On PoE 2, Pathfinder Exile 2, the early access. I've been playing all weekend and streaming it as well. I got to level 50 today on my Pathfinder. I am getting toward the end of Act 1 on Cruel, and I figured I'd just briefly talk about my character and what I think so far. To start off, GGG have nerfed 2 builds already, or like 2 skills, one on Warrior and I believe one on Ranger. And well, meanwhile, I'm waiting for buffs because I am playing Pathfinder and I'm trying to play Poison. And I'm saying trying because it is a goddamn struggle, let me tell you. So I did do my first Ascendancy quite quickly. I used Contagious Contamination. I switched to Poison Cock because I was like, I want to try it, and I was around 40-ish, 44 maybe in level. It was not great. I think you really have to wait until you have like flask passives and stuff. I did manage to do it the second Ascendancy. It took forever because it turns out that Trial of Chaos is actually worse than Sanctum. Imagine that. So I have more flask charges. I'm really trying to figure out how I want to do the passive tree. Right now I'm just going this path. I'll probably switch to attack speed instead. Going a lot of flask stuff. I even grabbed flask stuff down here, so I have mana flask at all times. Going evasion, poison, even more poison, and then some more poison, and I'm actually getting more poison. So I did try going like attack speed, projectile damage, and all that, and it does work. It's just that if you don't, like, you have to have more uptime, I feel like, and it's quite hard to get the damage out. So I was like, screw that, I'm just gonna switch back to poison. I spent like over 60,000, I think, just respecking. I probably spent 100,000 by now, I think, if I'm honest. So yeah, it's rough, but basically what I'm trying to do is run this poison, flask sustain, and some defenses. It is rough. Like I said, clearing packs of mobs isn't too bad, but bosses, holy shit, bosses is like the war of attrition. It is absolutely nuts. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a boss in the 3rd act that is optional, luckily, and you don't actually get anything from it. I actually skipped that one. I tried it a few times after like upgrades and leveling. I gave up because I don't have time to kill that. I literally don't have the damage to deal with that. So I'm like doing my best to fight, and it's like this crazy struggle against bosses, and then I go watch other people play like their monk or warrior or sork or something, and they're like, oh well, they kill it in like a minute, maybe not even a minute. Sometimes it's like super quick. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess that's what it's like to play a good class and good skill. It's absolutely batshit insane right now, so I hope they do something, because it is, I would not recommend poison at all right now. Even without poison, like concoction, is not great in my opinion. So, but the gear I have is like, I mean, I'm just trying to upgrade whenever I can. I have this bow, which is not even good for this really, but a lot of physical damage. Crit is pretty useless. I have this old helmet. I have a new one, but I don't have a socket. So you know, it's like it's an eternal struggle, right? But I do have some gear, right? So I can claw my way through this. Cruel so far is actually not as bad as I expected, so that's cool. But I'm sure we'll get there. Of course, a massive mana flask for concoction. You gotta have that. Like level 50, my resistances are now screwed because we're in Cruel. I can't really bother with any of this. But basically, I was trying to somehow find some damage, right? It's kind of funny because if you look at bow shot here, this is like the basic attack. I could literally just use this and do more damage, which is like insane. Poison conk levels are pretty much with you in a way, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I'm running like projectiles, extra poison, and then actually went close combat because I feel like most bosses are easy to deal with when they're close to you. So Um, that's why I kind of was I was kind of thinking I was considering going back here to like the close damage thing. I might do that, but I want to make sure I have the poison first. So yeah, so that's what I'm running on concoction. I'm using the arrow, poison burst arrow. I tried gas. Didn't really do what I wanted because this one also deals like initial damage. So that's what I also found to be very useful. So yeah, bursting plague mostly because I don't have much else to use. I feel like I have a corrosion for the armor break, and then I just added blind to this, which seems to help a lot. I mean, I do have quite a lot of evasion, but I think blind helps a ton as well. Growth only has AoE. I have Herald of Plague here with clarity and vitality. I'm actually going to add a third one. Right now I'm actually waiting. I don't have enough spirit basically, but I'm waiting to add the third one, which should be here somewhere. Where is it? I don't remember what it's called. It's not magnified, is it? No. Not splinter, not that. Herbalism, yeah, this one. Increased recovery from life flasks. Not a must-have, but it will be nice. So, escape shot. I rarely use this. Barrage actually use quite a bit, so I'm trying to make use of that. You know, when you run out of poison conch flask charges, it's like, okay, just shoot instead. And then I added Despair and Dark Effigy. I honestly don't know if they're worth it. Despair is really good. It lasts for barely 7 seconds, but has a very high effect on it. So it's like 40% less chaos res and impending doom, because I was like, I need something. Well, I don't need to, but I'm like, I might as well. Like keeping the curse up, and then you need to place the totem, and the totem attacks with withering, and it's like, I mean, it works. Like this works, but I don't know if it's good, right? I feel like it does something, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I've seen other versions of this, and honestly, I'm trying to make this work, and I think if you want to do poison, you probably have to skip concoction until late game. I would just stick to not that, basically. There's not a whole lot of things in terms of gems to pick from, which is kind of a struggle as well. So yeah, it is rough. I mean, if you want to struggle, you should definitely play this, in my opinion. You know, I was memeing that it would be bad before the game launched, but it is. So there you go. Hopefully we can see a buff or something, because I feel like a lot of people said that Pathfinder would look like the weakest one. Yeah, I think they're right. Not only is Pathfinder the weakest one, but I feel like the gems you get, the abilities, are also pretty eesh. Like I said, clear is good. Single target boss damage is, I don't know, it's hiding somewhere. I don't know where, but it's definitely not here right now, that's for sure. So I'm gonna play around more with my tree skills, basically everything, because I feel like there's gotta be a way I can change things and make it better. For example, so I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching other people destroy bosses, right, on other classes. When I compared like poison burst DPS at one point, I compared it, my character was level like 45, I think, when I compared it. I looked at a sorceress that was like a lightning, like this pure lightning. Yeah, I think it was basically pure lightning. That sorceress was level, he was level 35. So I was 45, he was 35. He had 3 times the damage, or DPS. And I was like, all right, cool. You know, the poison is, I don't know, it's strong for normal enemies, pretty bad for bosses. You know, it's not great, but I'm gonna keep struggling. I'm gonna keep streaming, and I am probably gonna regret everything. So that's fun. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good time in PoE2. I feel like the biggest problem, or there are 2 big problems for me, or well, 3 I guess, is the balancing. I mean that's a given, right, in early access really. I feel like we don't get to craft enough. in Act 1 you get to craft quite a bit. It's really fun to craft. But then like Act 2 and like the third act, it's like, bro, where's the currency? I'm trying to keep up my character power and trying to replace my gear. I can't craft. I barely get any currency. That's a problem. And I think the other problem is it's very easy to get surrounded by enemies. Like even if you're careful, like if you just make one mistake, you're surrounded and you die, right? Because it feels like with a dodge roll, you should be able to get past enemies because you're dodge rolling, and you don't. You use dodge roll in place, or like I have abilities here like toxic growth where you go up in the air. That doesn't do shit, right? You just get stuck and then you die. So they definitely have things they need to figure out. Right now it feels very much like a mix between, I don't know, it's like Ruthless in a way, I guess. I like the difficulty. That's not my problem. The problem is I feel like the player power is, I don't know, it's somewhere. It's so weird. So I hope they can sort that out quickly because, like I said, they've been nerfing. I hope they can be buffing soon as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, if you guys are paying, if you guys are playing Pathfinder, I would really like to know how you're building it. Like I said, I've looked at other people, and it's like I don't even know where to go. Like I'm like level 50, almost 51. Like what? I'm like literally, what can I do to improve anything, right? So I constantly check everything in my character. And when I get to boss, I'm like, well, crap. So yeah, I'll keep going, and I guess we'll see what happens, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me struggle, the VODs are on YouTube and Twitch, and yeah, it's damn. If you don't believe me, it is really bad. Okay, take care, guys.